What is going on, everybody? Sixers, okay? And you have Joshua Harris coming out and speaking about how problematic it would be with an early exit, specifically to the Boston Celtics. But he said it would be problematic if this Sixers squad cannot get past the Boston Celtics and really getting past late rounds into the postseason. He also discusses Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler. And I have some quotes for you here that he was talking about. First, we'll get to this. Success for us is going to be about winning playoff series. Obviously, we like to have a good regular season too, but we added and subtracted to win in the playoffs. We won one playoff series last season. We've created more talent on our roster. We're holding ourselves accountable. And really, as much as I hate this discussion, this all relates back to Brett Brown. All of it. And I know 50%, if not more, want this guy gone. So you have pretty much upper management at this point reaching out to the fan base, talking to the media about the current situation, and essentially saying, if we don't get this done, if we're losing in the first, second round, losing to the Celtics, we're realistically going to let go of Brett Brown. That's what I take away from it. That's my understanding. He's saying we're holding everybody accountable at this point. There's more talent on the roster, and if he can't get the job done, he can't get the job done. That's essentially what I get out of this article. Also, Tobias and Jimmy Butler. I know people aren't going to be happy about this one, but I definitely am. Talking about Jimmy and Tobias and keeping both. I'm looking for the exact quote here from Joshua Harris. We gave up a lot to get Tobias and Jimmy on our team. We think they're exceptional talents. We're going to try and keep them. We know we are going to have to pay these guys in an appropriate way. We get it. It is going to be expensive. So I'm just saying, here's our top management, upper management, stating to ESPN and stating to the fan base, one, we're not going to accept losing early in the playoffs, so there's going to be some changes. And two is that we want to keep these guys. We want to keep these four players here. So you heard it from the top. You heard it from the upper management. They are trying to keep Jimmy. They are trying to keep Tobias. They want to keep Tobias, Jimmy, Ben, and Joel together for a legitimate amount of time and try and get this thing going here with those four players as the core moving forward. You take a look at the minutes that these guys have played on the floor together. It's not much. It's not much. Everything I see is about 77 minutes total that all four of those guys play on the court together. So that is very small, very, very small. But it's a pretty damn big statement for Harris to come out and say he would be bummed. He would be bummed. So the legit quote coming from the problematic thing is, so how would Harris assess the season if Philadelphia fell to Boston in the opening round in April? It would be problematic. Very problematic. It would not be what we're playing for. We'd be unhappy. I'd be unhappy. The city would be unhappy. We're going to work hard to make sure that doesn't happen. We have enough talent on our roster that if we play the way we're capable of playing, we can beat anyone in the East. And this is my only thing. I'm going to be honest with you. It takes so damn long to get a team flowing, to get a squad to be able to perform at their elite level. If we get to that second round and we have to play a Milwaukee or a Toronto, I want the Sixers to win, of course, okay? But I just don't think that they are a better team. They might have the better starting five, or you can argue starting four at this point, because I don't know what JJ's doing. He's out to lunch. But hear me out. Milwaukee is gross. Toronto is deep. They're just playing better basketball. They are a better team than us. So I think it's unfair to an extent. I'm not here to tell you Brett Brown is a lifesaver, best coach ever. He clearly has flaws in his coaching game, and he needs to be better, without a doubt. But to to make it seem like just because we have a great 4 players on this team that just came together, that they are automatically better than the Bucks or automatically better than Toronto. No, they have team chemistry. Their chemistry is honestly elite. The Milwaukee Bucks are scary good. And I hate to admit this, but I don't have much confidence going into that series, and that's not because of Brett Brown being the coach. I think they just play a better game than us right now. They have a really good structured team. They play with such an elite pace, and they play together like something I've never seen. Sure, they don't have it when it comes to names, and you can argue in the NBA that having talent and having talented players and having the most talented roster makes you the better team. But you can take a look at Toronto, you can take a look at Milwaukee, and say that's just not the case. So we might win the first round, say we play the Pistons or whatever in the first round, and we got to see Milwaukee or Toronto. It's not impossible to win. We clearly are a good team, and it's possible that we can win, but if we do lose, that's not necessarily because of Brett Brown, or that's not necessarily because it's not necessarily because Toronto or Milwaukee are worse than us and we just couldn't get it done. That's all I'm saying. And realistically, I need to see how this plays out. If it is like last year and we are losing of that nature and we're losing every single close game in the second round because of Brett Brown, then by all means. I'm just saying, you need to look at this right now without the Sixers goggles on and see Milwaukee, Toronto, and playing them in the second round. They are good. They are a really great team. And that's why winning the NBA championship is hard to do. So if we go out there and compete our hardest and play phenomenal basketball, but so do the Bucks, and we lose and it's not Brett Brown's fault, it's different. It's different. But yes, Brett Brown needs to be better, and so does the team, and so does J.J. Redick, who's shooting terribly and can't find his rhythm. And so does Tobias Harris, who had 1 field goal in the second half of that Warriors game. Things like that. And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. I get it. I mentioned it a million times. The players have to step up, and that is the damn truth. It's not all on Brett. Brett does need to be better. Absolutely. Mike Scott can't be fouling either on plays like that. But the moral of the story is our upper management came out and stated it would be problematic if we did have an early exit, if we did lose to Boston in the first round. Problematic. And that's very true. That's very true. And if we lose the first round of the Celtics, yes, I'm on the fire Brett Brown train, yes. But I'm talking more if we get to the second round, if we have to play Milwaukee, if we have to play Toronto. It's not necessarily, Brett Brown's fault. To some extent, I think they are just a better team and have better chemistry than the Sixers do right now because of the lack of time that this team has had together. And I think that's a fair thing to say. I think that is a fair thing to say. I love this Sixers team. I think they have a lot. Do they have enough? We will have to wait and see. In regards to Joel Embiid, he practiced. That's phenomenal news. I don't know if he's going to get the nod against Orlando. I don't know if he's going to get a nod until that Indiana Pacers game. I hear a lot of insiders talking, and they say they hear maybe Indiana is the game. We'll see. Is he going to waste his time with a game against the Magic? Maybe he's going to get some flow, get some rhythm before we play the Pacers. I think getting thrown into the Pacers is a pretty hectic thing to do. And I think after the Pacers, it might be the Bulls. Or I'm sorry, not the Pacers, the Magic. So we play the Magic on Tuesday. We play the Bulls on Wednesday, back to back. Then we have the Rockets. So there's 3 games for the Pacers game. I really hope they're wrong. I really, really hope they're wrong there. I didn't realize that there were so many games in between that. 3 games would be problematic, if you will. Let me know what you think down below. Do you like the aggressiveness of coming out and talking to ESPN and saying, listen, we need to be better than we were last year and put a little pressure on the coach? I know there's going to be a ton of Brett Brown hate in the comments. I see it every single day. I hear it every day. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me with this second round thing, though? Because I'm sorry, but I watch Milwaukee play. They're scary good. I watch Kawhi play. Scary good. Those teams are good. I don't want to hear that they're not. I don't want to hear, oh, they're not really that good. Look at their roster. There's something about the way they play the game and it's smoother and it's more crisp than the Sixers do. So it really does depend on how it plays out, in my opinion. If it's on Brett Brown in late game situations, sure, then I get it. But if it's just because they're a better team than us and we play good basketball, but they're better, then I don't know. I don't know. But regardless, everyone's going to scream for his head anyway because that's how it works. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.